In this screencast, we're going to look at the idea of calculated questions and how to formulate those and set those up. If you're not dealing with a math course, this really wouldn't pertain to you. But if you are, this could be a helpful way to create a data set and equations that you can draw from periodically. So I've already created a category, which you do by going through here, and that's shown in a previous tutorial. So let's go over to our question bank. Now underneath, here's the parent folder of test quiz. Calculated questions. You notice I have a couple built out already, but we're going to create a new one. So underneath the create new question, we're going to choose calculate. Now the reason your screen, if it's the first time you do it, you will not have this box. This is appearing because I've already built a few out. Okay, so I want to change this. I'm going to update this category. So the question name will be, we'll say calculated to. Now here's the other, the question text, just like before, so you need to fill this out, okay? Now I'm not a math person, so I'm picking this from an example I have. So if you're a math person and you're chuckling at me right now, I understand. We're going to scroll down a bit. Now here's some, you should be familiar with this by this point, or if your first one, what this does is image to display. Obviously you have no pictures or images you want to display, and they would display up here in the previous where the questions are. This question is worth 10 points. Penalty factor, meaning that every time you get it wrong, if you're going to try it again, how many points will be taken off? 0. General feedback to this specific question. So that when you answer that question, it'll give you this comment will come back to the student. So that's a nice way to communicate specifically to the student off of the question. Now, you come down here and we fall into the category of correct answer formula. So, following the format above that's in the question, I'm going to choose a similar format. But I'm going to leave the numerical values blank and just set them up with there's A and B. Grade, I'm going to set this to be at 100% so that if they answer this correctly, and again, I'm just filling this stuff in to show you how to do it. If you understand math better than I, you'll realize that that's probably not the correct way to do it, but you get the idea. Now the tolerance, the whole idea behind tolerance is to by determining the tolerance, it's setting the tolerance for error that you will accept in the answer. So by determining the tolerance and the tolerance type, which is either nominal, geometric, or relative, I'm just going to leave it set for relative, you're allowing or giving a range of acceptable scores to be given. Okay, correct answer shows, I'm just going to select the number 1. Format could be the significant figures or decimals. And again, this would be feedback that when providing the answer, this is the comment that would come back. So maybe a good way to direct students of where to go. If you'd like to add another answer blank, meaning that you're providing something for multiple choices or multiple answers, you could add that through this, and that'd give you the options to add another answer bank. The unit, you see down here, unit 1. What this is, if you enter the units for the answer, for example, like meters or kilograms, Moodle will look for the correct units. And if you want to enter the other acceptable units, such as metric versus imperial distances, or however you would like to set that up, you can enter them along with conversion factors, and you would do that through here. And this would give you the option to add more units as well. So we go to the next page. Now, this will look a little bit different for you. You're on the Choose Dataset Properties. Okay, this will look a little different for you if it's your first time. You won't have these 4 already here. They're there for me because I've already created one, and so that's why you'll see it. But the wildcard A will use the same existing private data set as before, and that would then, what that explains is that if you create a data set or you build out a data set and you create these different equations, you can just always default to that and use that, so you're not having to go back and recreate every time. So I'm just going to leave that and leave it for the B as well. And then I'm going to go to the next page. And here, if you notice, the name for this page is Edit the Datasets. So you actually have the ability to update the datasets parameter. And that would be, again, how you would see fit. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it for right now. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you see how it tells me, well, you must add at least one dataset item before you can save this question, meaning that because it's new, I'm going to have to update it. So I'm going to go to Add One. And notice up here, this top parameter 1 changed, and it automatically set the numbers to it for me, and automatically set an equation set down here. Now again, assuming that you understand this stuff, the math aspect of it better than I do, you would then adjust this as you see fit. Now the one aspect here to pay attention to is the button of distribution, and that if you want it log uniform or just uniform, that's again your choice. So we're going to go down, and you have the option to be able to delete and change and alter, and then we're going to save changes. Now this pulls us back into our question bank and our question bank item. And if we go to, notice the title, calculated to, shows up under question name. And these are the other 2 that I had made previously. If you click on the little magnifying glass there, preview. And here's what it'll look like. Solve this equation. And it'll give them a blank for the student to fill their answer in. And all the data set that you set up and all the different aspects or different variables within the equation that you have set up previously for acceptable answers and ranges would apply to what gets put into this line. And so when the student submits their answer, that would get measured. And so to bring that question over to the quiz, you can either click the box and hit Add to Quiz, or you can just pull it over by quiz. So now questions in the quiz, we see our calculated to. There's the symbol that kind of tells you that that's what that is. That means calculate a question. It's worth 10 points at one question. It's added to the total. And now we save changes. And it's part of our quiz.